students are there who are attending first day class? If you are attending the first day, my request is please see the previous videos. Good evening. So any new student who is there, please see the previous videos, especially the vectors one. Then only you can attend this class and actually understand. Otherwise, it will be like, I'm speaking something very different. Fine. So let us start some revision first. Okay. So suppose I give you two vectors, A bar and B bar. By the way, I hope you remember vectors. A vector is a quantity which has magnitude and direction, and it adds according to the rule of vector addition rule. Yeah, we will see. Okay. As long as the disturbance is not there, we will see. Okay. So a vector is a quantity which has magnitude as well as direction. And when you add vectors, they add according to a certain way. And that way is, there are two ways. One is called parallelogram law. Other one is called triangle law. Both the laws we have studied. Now in exam, you have to write the statement. Statement I have already given you in the material. I have explained here how to do it, but in words you have to write. So maybe later I will explain to you how to write in words, but you should be able to read from the material and write in the exam. That I cannot do for you. Okay. So there are two rules. One is parallelogram law of adding vectors. One is triangle law of adding vectors. Suppose I have two vectors which are given like this. What law will you use to add these two vectors? What law can you use? You can use any one. So to add these two, it is better to use parallelogram law because already the tails are meeting. So what you have to do? Construct a parallelogram. So in parallelogram, the opposite sides are equal and parallel. Then you have to draw this vector, the diagonal vector. So this diagonal vector will give you the resultant vector. So R bar is called resultant vector, which how do we write? In formula, we write R bar equals to A bar plus B bar. So what this formula says is simple. It says if you add one vector with another vector, you get this vector. That's it. This formula neither gives you magnitude. This formula neither gives you direction. It only tells you that if you add A bar and B bar, you are getting R bar. That's it. Come to this. So here, these two vectors are taken in the same order. Order matlab like this, then like this. Then the third side. Okay, so if you make a triangle here, this side of the triangle will give you the resultant vector, R bar. So be careful about this, okay? So this vector plus this vector. So those vectors which you add are in the same order. Like this. Same order means like this, like this. Like this, like this. Like this, like this. Okay, so those two vectors which you add, they are in same order. Resultant is in not same order. Resultant is not this side. It is in the reverse order. Okay. So let me mention here. A bar and B bar are in same order. Same order. By order, I mean it is going like this. One is like this, other is like this. And resultant is in reverse order. Reverse order. Okay, so already many examples I've shown you. So again, this is your resultant vector, R bar equals to A bar plus B bar. So in exam, what they will say, they will ask you to write the statement and then you have to draw the diagram also. You have to draw the diagram and you have to write this formula. Draw the diagram, write this formula. This you do if they ask parallelogram law. This you do if they ask triangle law. Okay, then I told you this law was used to find the magnitude of the resultant vector. So now look carefully. Suppose this is A bar and this is B bar. What does it mean? A bar is the vector, means A is the magnitude. Magnitude of A bar. This is how we write. Sometimes we write modulus also. So this is easy way to write. So A is the magnitude of A bar. Magnitude of the vector means length of this vector. Length of this vector. Okay, it represents how much it is. So if I say 5 Newton force is applied, 5 Newton force is applied, then 5 Newton is the magnitude. So this can be number. Can this be number? Is this a number? Is A bar a number? No. But A is number, magnitude. Similarly, B is magnitude of B bar. And directions are like this. So from those two directions, you can find this angle, theta. So theta is angle between A bar and B bar. Angle between A bar and B bar. Then the question was, what is the resultant vector? What is the resultant vector means what is the magnitude and direction. So magnitude we will write simply R. Magnitude we will write R. So this is magnitude of resultant. Where should I write here? So magnitude of resultant vector. What was the formula? Root over A square. Let me write here. R equals to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. Okay, so a very different way of adding vectors. So directly you cannot write A plus B. Okay, directly please don't write A plus B. It is root over A square plus B square plus 2AB cos theta. That means it depends on the angle between the two vectors. Which vectors? Those vectors which you are adding. And direction of this resultant vector also we want. Only magnitude we don't want. Direction also we want. So direction will be given by this angle. And for that angle, if you remember, I used alpha. And then the formula was tan alpha equals to, if it is measured from A, then here it is B sin theta. Check the formula. B sin theta divided by A plus B cos theta. So if I measure alpha with respect to A bar, then this is B sin theta divided by A plus B cos theta. So this you have to check once, okay? From the formula, you have to put the value of A and B, then put the value of theta, tan alpha will come. Suppose tan alpha is equal to 1, then alpha will be how much, Gagandeep? Suppose after calculating this side, it is coming equal to 1. Suppose this is coming equal to 1. Then what will be alpha? 45 degree. Please write for everybody. Kritika, please make it everybody. Not 90 degree, ma. 10 90 degree is undefined. 10 45 degree is 1. So once you know tan alpha, you can find alpha. And once you know alpha, you know the direction, no? Yes or no? Because A bar you know already. A bar is given to you. A bar is given. So from A bar, if you know the angle of the resultant, you know the direction of the resultant. If alpha is 90 degree, it is here. If alpha is 0 degree, it is here. 30 degree here. 60 degree here. Like that we will come to know. Of course, sometimes you may get 1.7. Then how to do? Then we have to use something called log table. So that we will study later. Okay. If it is equal to 1, then the answer is easy. So this can be used to find the magnitude of the resultant. This can be used to find the direction of the resultant. Okay, so let us use this formula to do our first learning exercise 2.6. Those who have the material, you can see from the material. Those who don't have, listen carefully. Some few questions I will ask, but later I will ask. So this much we have done. This much we have done already, okay? So see learning exercise 2.6, question number 1. Simple questions are there. If two vectors A bar and B bar are in the same direction, A bar and B bar are in the same direction, both are towards east, let us say, then they are asking what is the magnitude and direction of the resultant, this resultant vector. So first let us calculate magnitude. So what will be your magnitude? R equals to root over this magnitude. We write a square. A. This magnitude is b. 2ab cos. What I should write? Theta. What I should write for theta? I have to use this formula, no? To find magnitude of resultant vector, we have to use this formula. What was theta? Go and check your notes. Theta was angle between A bar and B bar. Yes or no? Whenever you are given two vectors to add, they should give you magnitude and direction. If they don't give you, then tell them you only do like that. You only add. How you can add without giving the vectors? So when they ask you to add these two vectors, they should give you this magnitude A, this magnitude B, and this angle theta. Now we are doing one special question. So in the question they told these two are in the same direction. So theta will be 0. Oh, already many of you have written. Okay, 0. So put 0 here, cos 0. So this will become R equal to root over a square plus b square plus 2ab. Cos 0 is 1. Cos 0 is 1. So this inside bracket, what will you get? What is this? A plus b whole square. And if you take square root of a plus b whole square, what will you get? A plus b. Okay, students? So only when they are in same direction, then you can add. So if somebody says 5 Newton force and 5 Newton force are in same direction, what is the resultant magnitude? Tell me quickly. If they are in same direction, 10 Newton. Only that time you can do, but if they are in same direction, otherwise you cannot. Similarly, this is the first exercise. Where will be the direction? Direction is easy. If you add these two, you will get resultant here only, no? So resultant will be, direction will be here only. R bar will be here only, because if you add two vectors here, resultant will be there only where it will be. See question number 2 now. No need to use formula for direction because they are in the same direction. Question number 2, you see. Actually, we did this last class, I remember. If two vectors A bar and B bar are in opposite direction, opposite, what is the magnitude and direction of the resultant vector? So let us say A bar is here and B bar is ulta, opposite. Now, if they are opposite, what is the angle between them? Angle between them, if they are opposite, 180 degree, right? And those who don't know what is cos of 180, don't worry, in trigonometry they will teach you, but right now we have to know cos 180 degree is -1. So what will be the formula? R root over a square plus b square plus 2ab cos of angle between these two vectors, 180. This will be -1, put minus here, it will become a minus b. Okay, it will become a minus b. This part you can do, no? Cos 180 is -1, then this will become a minus b whole square. Direction will be where? For this diagram, can you tell me where will be the direction of the resultant vector? Towards right or towards left? For my diagram here, it will be towards right or left, resultant vector. After you add the two vectors, it will be up. Up, how do you get, ma? I am adding one force here, one force here. Left matlab this side, How it is this side? Okay, I think in your, it may be mirror image. Okay, I don't know. So if you look by diagram, which vector I have shown longer? Towards us. Which vector I have shown longer? A bar is longer. It depends on the magnitude. So if you look at the diagram which I have drawn, that's why Channa, I told in my diagram. In this diagram, A bar is longer than B bar I have shown. So resultant will be whichever is bigger. whichever is bigger, resultant will be that side. So since A bar is bigger, resultant will be in this direction. But it will be shorter than both of them because you have to subtract. See, though we are adding the vectors, we are actually subtracting. That is because these are vectors. These are not mass or temperature or money. If money was vectors, you will be happy or not happy? If money was vectors, you would be happy or not happy? No, you will not be happy, because if money was vectors, then when you add 100 rupees and 100 rupees in your bank account, if they are in opposite direction, then you will get 0 rupees. Why 0 rupees, sir? Because if they are in opposite direction, we have to subtract. Sir, how to decide that A is bigger? Length. Sri Raksha, what I told you last time, magnitude of the vector is represented by length of the vector. What if the vectors have same magnitude? Then you only tell me, Sanvi, you only tell me, if these two are same, what will be resultant? Sanvi, you only tell. If the two vectors have same magnitude, 0. That's it. And if it is 0, no need to show direction. Sir, how R equals to A plus B? Which question? That one I have done already. No, A plus B whole square. Oh, this you have not understood. Last class you were not present, Sumukha, look here. What is A square plus B square plus 2AB formula? Sumukha, A square plus B square plus 2AB. A plus B whole square. Correct? Okay. So since it is A plus B whole square, square and root will cancel. You will get A plus B. So when two vectors are in same direction, we have to add the magnitudes to find the magnitude of the resultant. See, so much I have to speak. I have to say, when we add two vectors, the magnitude I have to say, magnitude of the resultant is found by adding the magnitude of the two vectors if they are in same direction. If they are in opposite direction, cos 180 is -1. Then the formula will become root of A square plus B square minus 2AB. And what is this formula? A minus B whole square. Square root of A minus B whole square. That will give you A minus B. Okay? And direction will be controlled by whichever vector is more in magnitude. I think you accept that, right? If I pull with more force, the body will come towards me only, right? Try the next question. Those who have the material, try the next question yourself. Third question. So in the third question, they are saying, if two vectors A bar and B bar are perpendicular to each other. So one vector is here, A bar, another vector is here, B bar. Okay? Are perpendicular to each other. What is the magnitude and direction of the resultant vector? So now the angle between them is how much? 90 degree. This is 90 degree. Okay? You are telling me only angle. I asked you about the magnitude. So resultant will be where now? Now you can use parallelogram law. So now your resultant will be here. R bar will be here. Right? And this is your alpha. Don't confuse with alpha and theta. Root over A square plus B square. Correct. So now the magnitude of the resultant will be root over A square plus B square plus 2AB cos of angle between those vectors which we are adding. In the question they told those vectors are perpendicular. So cos 90. Everybody should know cos 90 is 0. Cos 90 is 0. So 2ab 0 will be 0. So answer will be root over a square plus b square. So you see the answer is not always a plus b. Sometimes a plus b, sometimes a minus b, sometimes root over. So the diagram should be like that only. Like that only how it should be. Okay, like that only. Okay. And by the way, if they are perpendicular, then you can use Pythagoras theorem also. Pythagoras theorem. So this r square will be a square plus b square. Correct now? This r square will be a square plus b square. And therefore this formula will come directly. So if they are perpendicular, we can also use Pythagoras theorem. But if they are at 60 degree, then we have to use whatever I taught you. What about direction? Direction means this alpha we have to find. So tan alpha. What was the formula? Since I am measuring alpha with respect to A, I have to start with B sin theta. This formula you have to remember. B sin theta by A plus B cos theta. Parallelogram, we don't do that like that, Raksha. In parallelogram, the tails of the vectors will meet. Please revise the previous videos. Otherwise, it will be difficult to understand. Okay. So it will be B sin 90 divided by A plus B cos 90. Because in this problem, theta is given 90 degree. You can use whatever law you want, but it is better to use here parallelogram law. Correct now? So sin 90 is 1, cos 90 is 0. Sin 90 is 1, cos 90 is 0. So what will be the formula? Tan alpha. B sin 90 is 1, so B into 1 is B. Cos 90 is 0, so it will be A plus 0. A. So this will give you direction, this will give you magnitude. In what case? When they are perpendicular. Okay. Those who want to apply triangle law, you can do like this. This is A bar, this is B bar. Correct? Then where will be your resultant vector? A bar plus B bar in the same order. Resultant will be here. This is your alpha. Same answer you will get here also. So whether you apply this or this, it doesn't matter, because if I take this one here, if I move this vector here, it remains the same. Remember I told you last class, this vector, if I move like this, it doesn't change because direction remains the same, magnitude remains the same. So if I take B bar here and then I apply triangle law, I will get the same answer. This will be hypotenuse even now. So same thing we can do. You can apply here also, because if this length is B, this length is also, if this length is B, this length is also C. Yeah? If this length is B, what is this length? B only, right? Okay. So we have completed the, no, not completed. I think 2 more questions are there. 4th question we did that day we did, last homework question it was. What was the question? Question number 4. 2 vectors have equal magnitude, it seems. So 2 vectors have equal magnitude. For what angle the 2 vectors will the resultant also have the same magnitude? So resultant also should have same magnitude. So basically what they are asking is, in exam how you should do, this rubbing the board takes time. Okay. So here cos theta. So this is the formula for magnitude of the resultant, right? In the question they have told magnitude of resultant should be same as magnitude of the 2 vectors. So this is given in the question. Matlab 5 Newton you should add with 5 Newton and the resultant also should be 5 Newton. In vectors it is possible. In vectors 0 also is possible. No. When you add 2 vectors, 0 resultant is also possible. So don't be surprised how it is possible. I am adding 5 Newton with 5 Newton, and answer is 5 Newton. It depends on the angle. So if these R and this A and this B are same, let us assume all of them are equal to X. All of them are equal to X. Substitute here. X equals to root over X square plus X square plus 2 into X cos theta. So this is given in the question. Substitute here X, and then theta you have to find. You can square both the sides. So X square will be X square plus X square, 2X square. Here it will be 2X square cos theta. Right? X square plus X square, 2X square. X into X, X square. And then I want to remove the square root. So I took square both sides. So now you can take here, you can bring this 2X square this side. So X square minus 2X square will be equal to 2X square cos theta. So bring this 2X square this side. X square minus 2X square. Take X square common. 1 minus 2 will be minus 1. 2X square cos theta. So you can notice X square here and X square here will cancel. So your cos theta will be minus 1 by 2. Right? When you cross multiply, you should get this. So for what angle cos is minus half? Answer is when angle is 120 degree. So you must know cos 0 is how much, cos 90 is how much, cos 60 is how much, cos 30 is how much, cos 180 is how much, and cos 120 is how much. Cos 120 is minus half. Once the angle becomes obtuse, cos starts becoming negative. Okay. Again, these things will be taught in trigonometry when they start in maths. In maths, what they have started? Which topic they have started? Sets. Okay. Trigonometry, if they start, it would be little helpful for us. But it's okay. Ultimately, they have to start. That time, all these things you will understand more nicely. So if you stop here also, no problem. Right now, no problem. Later, when you understand that cos 120 degree is minus half, then you can write this angle as 120. So that means if two vectors having same magnitude, look carefully. Yeah. So if two vectors, let's say this vector and this vector has angle 120 degree, then when you add them according to parallelogram, okay, you have to make same length. Exactly you can't make. So approximately this A and B should have same length. Okay. Then if you make a parallelogram, the diagonal will give you the resultant. Okay. Okay, let us continue. So what I was trying to show you, whatever we have done here, mathematically, we can write in picture also. That is the beauty of vectors. See, that's why we have created all that rules, that we will draw an arrow to represent a vector. Length of the arrow will give you magnitude. Wherever the arrow is pointing, that will give you direction. So why we are doing all this? So that only mathematics, if you do know, then sometimes you forget what you are doing actually. So you need to have some imagination. And for imagination, you need help of pictures. Yes or no? So if two vectors A and B have same magnitude matlab same length, and if they are at 120 degree, then the resultant you can see, if you can see, has almost same magnitude. I may not have done exactly because I'm not using any scale or something. So please remember this result, very, very useful. Up to second PU, it will be useful. Up to second PU. So please write down. Done? This part, this drawing is done, right? Okay. Now to do the next question, we need to learn how to add three vectors. How to add 3 vectors, 4 vectors, 5 vectors, 100 vectors. But before we do, let me just check that everybody should understand how vector addition is done. So look, answer quickly. I apply a force 4 Newton. I apply a force 3 Newton. Tell me the resultant force. Resultant force. Quickly. 7 Newton. Very good. So in this case, you can say 7 Newton. Okay. Again, don't put bar here. So when I don't put bar, when I don't put vector sign, it means I'm writing only magnitude. So this is first. Then quickly tell me this is 4 Newton. Here 3 Newton. Resultant will be what? 1 Newton. In what direction? Right side. Because I have taken 4 Newton more. Okay, 4 Newton is more I have taken. Then third case we have studied 4 Newton, 3 Newton. What will be resultant? What was the formula if they are perpendicular? Root over a square plus b square. 4 square plus 3 square. That will be 5 Newton. And direction will be somewhere here. Okay, can you tell me the direction will be towards more 4 Newton or towards more 3 Newton? The resultant will be more closer to 4 Newton or 3 Newton? 4 Newton because it is bigger. No, it is bigger. So your resultant will be somewhere here. And that will be your 5 Newton. That is your resultant. So please remember all these small things, very important. So always remember resultant will be closer to the smaller angle. Now look here. If this is 4 Newton and this is also 4 Newton, then please remember resultant force or resultant vector will bisect the angle, between A bar and B bar. So if this is the first force A, let us write magnitude, second force B, and if the angle is, I don't know, let's say theta, then your resultant will be neither closer to B nor closer to A. Why, sir? It will neither be closer to B nor it will be closer to A. Why? Because both are same magnitude. So in that case, if you carefully draw the diagram, your resultant will bisect the angle. Okay, it will pass through the middle, and this angle alpha will be, anyone? What will be this angle alpha now? Without doing any calculation, directly can you tell? This alpha should be how much? Theta by 2. So the resultant will bisect the angle if the two vectors which you are adding have equal magnitude as expected. So if these two vectors have same magnitude, resultant will bisect the angle. This is an important note. Later when we solve JEE problems and NEET problems, this kind of shortcuts will be very useful. Right, quickly. Please write down, okay? And I hope everybody got the message that from Monday onwards, classes will be every day. Classes will be every day from Monday to Friday, which is a good thing. You should not be disappointed. You should not be, I will do. Stalin, don't worry. So don't be disappointed that, array, 5 days a week, till now we were enjoying. So now enjoyment is finished. Too much enjoyment you have done. Okay, so now studies you have to start doing. And once vectors are over, I will share with you some worksheets which you should practice. With solution I will give, but solution you should see later. First you should try yourself. If you don't get, then you can see. Or you can ask me also. Now, to do the fifth question, there we have to learn how to add 3 vectors. Let me just adjust this, okay? So we have to learn how to add 3 vectors. That is easy, no? We have learned how to add 2 vectors. So just continue. So look here. Adding 3 vectors. So look here. So A bar let us keep here. B bar let us keep here. And maybe C bar I will draw somewhere here. Okay. So this may be easier to show. That also we can add, but it is difficult to show in the diagram. So what we will do first, we will add this two. That will be here. That will be your A bar plus B bar. Right? Okay. Then we have to add this black vector with the third vector. So now think A bar is not there, B bar is not there. Think only these two are there. So one more parallelogram you have to make with this third vector. Something like this, and that will be your A bar plus B bar plus C bar. Okay. So first you have to add A bar and B bar. Whatever answer comes, you have to add with C bar. So you can see using parallelogram law to show the diagram is not easy. That is why usually we use triangle law when we want to add more than two vectors. That is what I will teach you now. But first, did you understand this? Diagram is not very clear, I know, but you understood the concept? Okay, you understood the concept? Okay. Somebody is asking me to draw one more diagram. Okay, so let me try one easy one. So this is A bar, and let me say B bar is here, and let me say C bar is somewhere here. Okay, so A bar, B bar, C bar. Try this once, all of you. Take one white page, take one scale and pencil, and try this. I want A bar plus B bar plus C bar. So you can add these two first. After adding those two, you will get this vector. Then you have to add this vector with this vector. That will give you final vector will be this. So if I remove this A bar here, so I think this is little bit neat, little bit cleaner compared to previous one. Okay, so which is your A bar, this is your A bar. So this is how we can keep adding, vectors. But as you can see, students, using parallelogram law is little bit complicated here while drawing the diagram. So once you have understood this, now we can do the fifth question also. So let us try the fifth question. First, draw the diagram. This is the final vector. This is your A bar plus B bar. Don't forget. And this is your A bar plus B bar plus C bar. Okay. Can you tell me quickly, if two vectors have magnitude 5 Newton, 5 Newton perpendicular, what will be the resultant vector magnitude? Already I have done it. Perpendicular. A is this, B is this, RU, 5 root 2. Yeah. So 5 root 2. So try to remember this result. If you remember the result, no, it is always easy. So next time if I say this has magnitude A, this has also magnitude A, then resultant will be A root 2. Why A root 2? Formula is what? Root over this square plus this square. That will be A root 2. Okay, provided they have same magnitude. If they are different, then you have to write A here, B here. Then root over formula is A square plus B square. So question number 5 is very interesting. It is from H.C. Verma textbook. But this you understood, right? Concept you understood. To draw the diagram, don't worry. It's just about habit. So slowly with time, you will be comfortable with these diagrams. Now see question number 5. Very interesting question. Listen carefully. Find the magnitude of the resultant of three vectors, and they are representing the vector how? OA bar, OB bar, OC bar. Matlab from O to A you have to go. OA bar, O to B, OB bar, O to C, OC bar. Shown in the figure, radius of the circle is given capital R. So they have given you a circle. The center of the circle, they are calling it O, and here they have shown a vector, and this vector they are saying OA bar. So OA bar means this vector. Okay, then here is your OC bar. This is OC bar, and this is your B here. So this is your OB bar. So they want you to add these three things, these three vectors they want you to add and tell them the magnitude. Angle they have given 45 degree. This is given 45 degree. First of all, listen carefully. Since they gave this as a circle, can you tell me these three vectors, OA bar, OB bar, OC bar, these three vectors, they have same magnitude or different magnitude? Magnitude I am asking. Magnitude will be same because magnitude of a vector means length of the vector. And since they have given circle, this radius, this length is R, they have given, this is also R and this is also R. So students, please don't think here R means resultant vector. Here R is the radius of the circle. Radius. So R here is radius. So you can see we have to add three vectors. If I add these two first, it is a bad choice. No, answer is not 2R. If I add these two first, answer will be bad because if I add these two first, my resultant will be here. And that one I have to add with this one. So that is a bad choice. So first I will add, we will add OA bar, this vector, and OC bar. Okay, first we will do that. That will be better. You will see why that is better. So where will I get the vector? Let us see. Let us draw separately. I will forget about this vector right now. I will add only this vector with this vector. So here is your OA bar. Here is your OB bar. This length is R. This length is also R. And you know OA bar, this vector and this vector, according to the question, they are perpendicular. So where will be the resultant vector? In direction where it will be? Here, right? And since these two are equal in magnitude, this will what? It will do what to this angle? These are the two vectors. This is OA bar, this is OB bar. They are equal in magnitude, you only told. So resultant will what? Bisect the angle. So this resultant will be here. Okay, so I don't want to write R here because this is R, right? So what will be this vector? Magnitude. Root over this R square plus this R square, which is equal to root 2R. So this vector will be root 2R. Correct, no? In length, it will be root 2R. In direction, it will be exactly at 45 degrees. Till here understood? So this is the answer for what? This is the answer for, first we will add OA bar and OC bar. OA bar, OC bar, if you add, you will get this vector. You can write here E and call that OE bar. So this is your OE bar, but no need to do all those things. So this is the resultant. Magnitude, how to find? Root over this length, this magnitude R square, this magnitude R square. No need to write 2R cos theta because angle between these two is 90. and cos 90 is 0. B instead of C in the diagram. Oh, C. Sorry. This is C. Thank you, Madhavan. So this till here understood? Till here understood? One more we have to do. We have not finished the answer. So now what we have to do? Now we have to add this vector with this third vector. Now can you tell me properly, think carefully, direction of this and this third vector, direction. Can I say they are in same direction? This resultant of these two vector, can I say is in the same direction as this third one? Yes, I can say. So therefore, finally now I have to add, now we add, let me write E here, OE bar and OB bar. So let me now concentrate on only these two vectors. So where is OE bar? This is OE bar. OE bar. Okay. What is the length of OB bar? √2r. This is one of the vector which we have to add. Then we have to add this resultant of these two with this one. This is here only, no? Here only. And that is your B. Let me write B here. So this length is your R. So OB bar has length R. OE bar has length √2r. And since they are in same direction, resultant of these two, total. Let me rub this diagram now. Resultant will be, am I audible? Something happened, so I was scared, okay? So therefore, resultant will be resultant of OA bar, comma, OB bar, comma, OC bar has magnitude equal to how much? Now you know these two vectors are in same direction, and when two vectors are in same direction, what do? We simply add the magnitudes. So what is the magnitude of this vector? OE bar. OE bar magnitude is √2r. And the third vector is OB bar. OB bar is r. Magnitude is r. So answer is √2 plus 1 common r. Right, first. Now I will explain the same thing. Now I will explain the same thing in a simple way, because this much we don't have to do in exam. So first you write properly. Please write, okay? Unless you write, it will not go in your head. Okay. Done, na? Okay. So now look here. Let us make this simple. Unnecessary in the question, they made it very complicated by writing OA, OB, OC like that. Unnecessary. Too much complication they have done. Let us make it simple. Yeah, 10 times you have to add. 10 times you have to add. What we can do? Okay. So now look here. But then there are some other tricks. Stalin, don't worry. There are some other tricks which I will be teaching you. So don't worry. Now look here. So suppose this is 10 Newton. This is 10 Newton. And I want to add 10 Newton like that. Okay. This is at 45 degrees. Then if they want you to add these three vectors in your exam, what you should do? First add these two. So if you add these two, here only you can do, here only, no need to go somewhere else. So first you add this 10 and this 10. So when you add 10 and 10, which are perpendicular, resultant is 10 √2. Don't forget the answer, root over 10 square plus 10 square. So resultant of this 10 and this 10 will be here. That will be 10 √2. Correct? No, 10 √2 it will be. Then I have to add 10 √2 with this 10. Where are they? In same direction. So resultant will be 10 plus 10 root 2. 10 common, 1 plus root 2. Finish. Aram se like that we should do. That OA bar, OB bar, OC bar, if you start doing, it will be very complicated. So first you add these two, you will get this vector, which will be longer than this 10 Newton. 10 root 2, which 10 root 2 is more than 10, no? So I have to draw solpa longer. So this is the resultant of these two. So this is resultant of 10 Newton and 10 Newton. Which 10 Newton? This and this. Okay, so you add these two 10 Newton, you will get 10 root 2. Root over a square plus a square. Stalin is saying, what if they don't bisect? Then we have to use something called components of vector. That will be more easier to solve. Okay, so we will be doing it later, Stalin, don't worry. Okay, right fast. Okay, so now we have learned about how to add two vectors using parallelogram law, using triangle law. So in triangle law, if I add this vector with this vector, the answer is this vector. So this is your A bar plus B bar. That is how triangle law works. No, in first PU only. First PU. I will another 1 day, 2 days you will learn. Don't worry. So this vector plus this vector will be this vector. Okay, so this thing should be clear now, because now I'm going to teach you polygon law. Polygon law. So polygon law is used to add more than two vectors, which we have done using parallelogram law, right? So now we will use triangle law, but that is now called polygon law. Let us understand. Look here. Suppose I want to add this vector A bar, or maybe let us say this vector A bar with this vector B bar, with this vector C bar, with this, let's say this vector D bar. So I want to add these four vectors. Now, if I start drawing parallelogram, one diagonal I have to show here, again one more diagonal. So it takes a lot of time, and diagram also you have seen already. Diagram doesn't come neatly. So what we do is, look here, we put these vectors, we arrange these vectors on the sides of a polygon. Okay, so let me explain. So this vector, let me write here, right? If I move this vector here, does it change? Does it change if I move this vector here? No, it doesn't change. So you can do it. So this vector, I will take it here. Then this vector, B vector, I will take it here. This B vector, I will take it here. Good, here. Then C vector, I will take good, there. Then D vector, good, like this. So this is what you have to do first. So you have to arrange these vectors in the sides of a polygon. Now, once you have done that, so if you notice what I have done, I have put the tail of the second to the head of the first, tail of the third to the head of the second, tail of the fourth to the head of the third, like that. I have put them. I have arranged these vectors which I want to add in this fashion. Then which are these vectors? This is my A bar, this is my B bar, this is my C bar, this is my D bar. Now look carefully. Look carefully. This vector plus this vector will be which vector? A bar plus B bar will be this vector. Yes or no? Yes or no? Triangle law. This vector plus this vector will be this vector. So that is your A bar plus B bar. Then this vector plus this vector, this plus this will be this vector. So that will be your A bar plus B bar plus C bar. Then this vector with this vector will be this vector. So that will be your A bar plus B bar plus C bar plus D bar. And that is your final resultant vector. So this method is called polygon law. I will give the statement. Yeah, previous sum could be done with this law also. Correct, we can do it. I will show you also. If you want, you can try yourself. So this is much better because you don't have to draw parallelogram. Diagonal you don't have to draw. You have to just keep drawing the third side of the triangle. The third side of the triangle. Understood? So ultimately look here. Suppose you are not interested in these vectors. Suppose you are only interested in this vector plus this vector plus this vector plus this vector. Then what you do? Put this vector here, bring this here, bring this here, bring this here. So A bar plus B bar plus C bar plus D bar. This is separate, okay? Will be what? Directly from the tail of the first vector to the head of the last vector. So that will be your resultant vector. So if you are not interested in these vectors, if you only want the resultant of all the vectors, if you want the sum of all the vectors, then what you do? Just from the tail of the first, you go to the head of the last. But first you arrange them in this fashion. In this fashion means tail of the second should be with the head of the first. Like that you have to do. Write down, write down. Statement, shall I give you statement of this law? In exam statement you have to write. So shall I give you statement or you will read from the book? How many of you want example? Channa, example only will be there. In whole physics it will be example. Okay, let me give you the statement then. Look here. Don't worry. See students, some of you are very much worried about where is the example, what is the real life application. See students, physics is real life application. So once we start doing the physics of all this, once we start doing physics and then applying all these things, that time you will come to know many examples. Unnecessary, let us try to complete the tools, whatever tools you need, let us try to complete it as soon as possible so that we can start physics. And look carefully. How to write this statement? Look carefully. If several vectors, several means more than one. If several vectors, A bar, B bar, C bar, D bar, if several vectors are represented in magnitude, please write down, in magnitude and direction by the sides of a polygon. This is a polygon. By the sides of a polygon taken in the same order. See, same order. A bar, B bar, C bar, D bar. Same order. Taken in same order. Then resultant vector, this resultant vector is given by the closing side. By the what side? Closing side. This is the closing side. With this you are able to close the polygon. By the closing side of the polygon taken in same order or reverse order. Okay. With example only. With same order or reverse. No. This resultant I am asking. So result. So A bar is here, B bar is here, C bar is here, D bar is here. R bar should be here. R bar should be here. A bar is here, B bar is here, C bar is here, D bar is here. These are all in the same order. So R bar is not here. No, R bar is here. So taken in reverse order. So these statements and all. So if several vectors, repeat means what, Kishan? This is I have written. No, you just see and write. So A bar, B bar, C bar, D bar are in the same order. You see A bar, B bar, C bar, D bar. are in the same order. The resultant is given by the closing side of the polygon, closing side. And it should be taken not in the same order. It should be in the reverse order. It is like triangle law. So when I added this vector with this vector, you can see these are two sides of a triangle. This is triangle taken in the same order. Resultant is given by what? Third side. Third side. Taken in what order? Same order or reverse order? Taken in same order or reverse order? Reverse order. Okay. So if several vectors are represented in magnitude and direction, matlab in length, magnitude matlab in length and direction in the same order, are represented in magnitude and direction by the sides of a polygon. This is a polygon taken in the same order. Then the resultant vector, this vector, is given by the closing side of the polygon, closing side, but taken in the reverse order. Now, yeah, you can add 100 vectors also, Nandita. You have to just keep arranging all of them like this, keep arranging all of them. Let me show you some examples, okay? So again, students, I don't think I should write all these statements in the board. Okay, this is done in class 6 and 7. So what you should do is you should see the statement from the book. So Sunday class, sir, but it depends according to the sites given. No, it does not depend on Madhavan. First of all, make the question public, so that when I answer, students will know what I am answering. Whenever you message here, everybody should see, unless it is a personal message to me like, you know, sir, the board is not very clear like that. But if you are asking something, you should tell to everyone. Otherwise, you know, I will be saying something and students will think what sir is saying today suddenly like that. So you are saying that it will depend on the sides. No, it will depend on the vectors which you are given. So they will give you some vectors like this. Then depending on this length, you have to put first one here, second one here, third one here like this. That's it. See, try to understand. This I keep here, this I keep here, then third I keep here. So how long this will be depends on the given vectors. Correct, no, Madhavan? Whatever is the length of this, whatever the length of the sides, that will depend on the length of these vectors. Once you have arranged them in this polygon, then you draw this vector. That will directly give you the sum of this vector, this vector, this vector. So this will be your what? A bar plus B bar plus C. Okay. Now answer some basic. Before I ask you some questions, you can add as many vectors as you want. This vector plus 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 this vector. Which will be what vector? Which will be the resultant vector of all of them? It should not turn, huh? So resultant of all of them will be this vector. This. Understood or not? From the tail of the first to the head of the last. Now, I hope you have understood the polygon law. Answer this question. Okay. Suppose I give you this vector, add with this vector, with this vector, with this vector. Length of this, length of this, length of this, length of this are equal. So A. Length are equal. What will be the resultant vector? You have to use polygon law. Don't use other laws. 4A. Huh? Polygon law, you have first polygon law. How will you use? Whichever vectors are given. Ganopita has done correctly. Whatever vectors are given, no, first you have to arrange them in a polygon law. Then you have to see what is the vector from the tail of the first to the head of the last? That vector will be the resultant vector. So let us put them in a polygon. First vector, correct? Second vector, third vector, fourth vector. Since the lengths are equal, this will come exactly here. Understood? So if this happens, we call them closed polygon. Closed polygon. So by putting the vectors in a polygon, if it becomes closed, matlab there is no gap. There is no gap between the tail of the first. There is no gap only between the tail of the first and head of the last. Then what will be your resultant? 0. 0. Why, sir? Because there is no gap between the tail of the first and the head of the last. Of course, if this was solpa shorter, like this is A, this is A, this is A, but this is shorter, let's say. This much is A by 2, let's say. A by 2. Then what will be the answer? This will be A, this will be A, this will be here, and this will be shorter, this much only, right? So then your resultant will be here. From the tail of the first to the head of the last. That will be your resultant. Whatever it is. Understood or not? But if it is A, and if you arrange them, you will get 0. So please remember, once you put vectors, A by 2 is correct actually. So if you put, you people are understanding actually very nicely. Anyways, if you put vectors in a polygon and if the polygon gets closed, please remember resultant will be 0. Later when we do physics problems where there will be forces acting in different directions. Channa, this is for you. Forces acting in different directions. Some string is connected, gravity is applying force, and there may be some external force due to electricity or maybe due to magnetism. So when many forces are acting on a body, we have to know all these techniques of how to add more than 2 vectors. Okay, now tell me this also. Tell me this also. I'll be very happy if you can do it. This is A, this is A, and this is also A. 120, 120, 120. What will be resultant? Try to apply. This one you can do using parallelogram also, parallelogram law also, but better to apply polygon law. Are you giving the answer? It will be 0 again. So the reason why it will be 0 is, look here, these lengths are equal. So this is the first vector. Then second vector is 120 degree with the first vector. So it will be here. This should be 120. Correct? No, this should be 120. That means this will be 60. And this one will come exactly here. If you draw properly, it will be exactly here. The third one. Because this is also 120. This is also 120. Okay, and this is also 120. This is also 120. Okay, so they are given angle between this vector and this vector is 120. So this vector is this one. This vector is this one. So angle between this vector and this vector is not this vector. It's not this angle. You have to extend the direction. Is that angle. So if you form a polygon, you will get a closed triangle. You will get a closed triangle. And therefore, the resultant will be 0. Okay, students. Tell me quickly, what is the angle between these two vectors? Angle between this vector and this vector. This was one of the question in our learning exercise. I forgot to do it. So we'll stop the class with this question. What is the angle between these two vectors? See, angle between vectors means angle between the directions. So you have to extend the directions. Okay. So if somebody wants angle between this vector and this vector, just imagine this vector if you keep it here. If you extend the direction of this and this. So this is the direction of first vector. This is the direction of second vector. So this is the angle, which will be 60 degree. So 60 degree is the answer. Okay, students. So be careful about this. When you give angle between two vectors, it always means angle between their directions. So you have to extend the direction of the first vector and second vector. Understood? For example, when I did using parallelogram law, if this is A bar, this is B bar, I wrote angle between them theta. Remember, right? Then I took this B bar here. And then when I extend this line, this angle between A bar and B bar will be theta. So if I ask angle between this vector and this vector, you should not say this angle. You should not say that angle. You have to extend the direction, and this angle is what you should say. For next class, I will need something which I will tell you and then I will stop. Suppose I give you a right angle triangle. This length is 5 meters. Let me just write 5 meters here. This is theta. Without using any new variables, only 5 and theta. Forget unit also. This is 5. This length is 5. Okay, what will be this? I don't want any new variable. Only 5 and theta you can use. Of course, you can use trigonometric identity. No. Why 3 or 4? Okay, let me write here 6. Now tell me. So if this is 6, what will be this? Gagandeep has told. So this will be 6 cos theta. This length will be 6 cos theta. I will explain to you, don't worry. And what will be this length? If this is 6, this is theta, this side will be 6 cos theta. And this will be 6 sin theta. So I want you people to remember this so that later when we do JEE problems and NEET problems, we can do it faster. Again, how it comes is very simple. Suppose you don't know this. You want to find, then put question mark. Then you use the formula for cos theta. What is cos theta? Adjacent by hypotenuse. Cos theta is adjacent by hypotenuse. So adjacent is question mark. Hypotenuse is 6. Cross multiply. Question mark will be 6 cos theta. Cross multiply. So this is 6 cos theta. And similarly, try to find sin theta. Sin theta is opposite by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is 6. So opposite will be what? Cross multiply 6 sin theta. So this will be 6 sin theta. So you should be able to say this fast. Okay. Now tell me this quickly. This length is B, let us say. This length is B. This is theta. What will be this side? Oh, let me write 6 only, no problem. If you are confused, write 6 only, no problem. So if this is B, then this will be B cos theta. And this will be B sin theta. Why it changed? Because if angle is here, then this is your adjacent side. From school you know already. So if angle is here, this is your adjacent side, this is your opposite side. And if angle is here, this is your opposite side, this is your adjacent side. So try to memorize this. Opposite side is hypotenuse into sin theta. Opposite side is hypotenuse into sin theta. And adjacent side is hypotenuse into cos theta. Now, which is adjacent and which is hypotenuse depends on where I write angle. If I write angle here, this is adjacent. If I write angle here, this is adjacent. Okay. So with this, we'll stop. So now I'll give you more examples later.